Okay, now before we actually start drawing these design strips, there's one thing we have to do first. Head over to the Draw menu and open up the Snap options. Make sure to check these two boxes, line ends and midpoints, and grid intersections. Trust me, turning these on will make your drawing process way smoother. Alright, I'm gonna start by drawing the X direction design strips. If you remember, we said the foundation strip width was about 2 meters, so we'll stick with that for both the X and Y directions. Just one thing, be extra careful in the elevator pit area. It needs special attention because of the layout. To draw the strips, click on the Design Strip Draw tool. It looks like this. You can also access it from the Draw Design Strips menu. Alright, so when you start drawing a design strip in Safe, this window pops up. We'll walk through it step by step so you know exactly what each setting means. First off, which layer are you drawing on? Are you drawing a strip in layer A, layer B, or layer other? Now, here's the usual convention in Safe. X direction strips go on layer A. Y direction strips go on layer B. And if you're working with diagonal strips, then you use layer other. So right now, since we're drawing strips in the X direction, we'll go with layer A. Next up, you'll see an option called Design Type. Just leave it as column strip. Now technically, this setting doesn't have a major impact on your design results, but still, it's good practice to keep your strips as column strips by default. Why? Well, because most of the time your columns are located right along the center of these strips. Safe actually gives you two types of strips, column strips and middle strips. But again, I'd recommend using column strips in most cases. They tend to give better results. Okay, now here's the important part. There are 4 numbers you'll always need to input when you're drawing a design strip. Let me explain. Imagine you're drawing a strip from left to right, starting at one column and ending at another. If the strip is 2 meters wide, and if your column line is running right down the center of that strip, then half of the strip will be above the axis and the other half below it. In that case, the width on the left and right sides, at both the start and end of the strip, would each be 1 meter. So you'd set each of these 4 parameters to 1 meter. Now that's when the strip is symmetrical, totally centered. But sometimes you'll want to shift the strip, like maybe 1.5 meters above the axis, and only 0.5 meters below. In that case, the values would change to start and end left should be set to 1.5 meters. Start and end right should be set to 0.5 meters. So yeah, still a rectangular strip, but now it's off center. And of course, you can also go with a trapezoidal shape. If you want one side of the strip to be wider than the other, say it tapers from start to end, you can just set different values for left and right at each end. Safe allows for that too. Okay, since the width of our strip is 2 meters, I'm going to split it evenly, 1 meter to the left and 1 meter to the right. And since I want the strips to be rectangular, not trapezoidal, I'll keep the values for start and end exactly the same. Alright, now I'll go ahead and draw the first strip. Thanks to the snap options we enabled earlier, Safe automatically finds the center lines for us, so I'll start here. Connect this point to the first column, then to the next one, and the next, and so on. That's it. The first strip is done. Before I move on, let me show you a quick trick to visually check the strip width. Click on Set Display Options, then switch to the other tab and turn on the option that says Show Width. Hit OK, and there it is. You can now see the full width of the strip, and it's sitting right on top of the foundation strip, exactly as we wanted. Alright, let's go ahead and draw the next one. But hold on a second, I can't extend this strip all the way through. Why not? Take a look. If I continue the strip here, it would end up going inside the elevator pit, and that's a problem. You always need to make sure that your design strips don't interfere with elevator pits or shafts. Why? Because you're not going to place reinforcement bars through the elevator pit, so the strips must stop at the edge of the shaft. So here's what I'll do. I'll draw the first part of the strip up to the edge of the elevator pit. That way, this strip is now broken into two pieces. And then I'll start a new strip on the other side from here. Now, this small segment in between, it will need its own separate strip, but since the width will be different, I'll come back to it later. Let's just finish the rest of the standard width strips first. Alright, now I'm going to draw the next design strip. So here's the thing. In this section, SAFE can't automatically detect the center of the foundation width. The strip starts here, but I want it to begin a bit earlier from this point right here. So I'll just click somewhere close, like here, on the column. Then I'll continue drawing the strip until I get to the edge of the elevator pit. Now, remember what we talked about earlier. The design strips should always extend all the way to the edge of the footing. Why is that important? Because we want SAFE to design rebar placement all the way out, even near the outer boundary. That's how we get a complete and accurate design. So, what I'll do here is this. First, I'll select the endpoint of the strip. Then I'll select the strip itself. And finally, I'll click on the surface I want the strip to reach. Then I'll go to the Edit menu, choose a line joint, and pick the Extend option. SAFE extends the endpoint right to the edge. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next strip. Again, SAFE can't find the exact endpoint here either, so I'll just draw the strip up to the point it can detect. Then, just like before, I'll select the strip, select the point, select the destination surface, go to Edit, Align Joint, and choose Extend. There we go. Done. Let's draw another one. And now, I'm going to draw those short strips next to the elevator shaft. First, I need to calculate the strip width. The y-coordinate of the top point is 15.3, and the y-coordinate of the bottom point is 14.025. So the width of this strip is the difference between them, 1.275 meters. That means each side, left and right, should be half of that, 0.6375 meters. SAFE automatically finds the midpoint for me, so I just go ahead and draw the strip from there. Nice and easy. Now let's draw the vertical strips, the B-layer strips. Up to now, everything we drew was in the X direction, the A layer. To switch to the B layer, it's super simple. Just select layer B from the layer settings. Keep in mind, design strips in layer A and B can have different widths, although in this example we're using the same width for both. Alright, I'll go through the same steps as before. First, just to keep things clean, I'll hide the A layer. So I open the set display options, uncheck layer A, and hit OK. Now I can see only the vertical strips, much easier to work with. As before, Safe can't automatically find the midpoint, so I'll go ahead and draw all the strips first. Then, for the ones that need to reach the edge of the footing, I'll just select all of them at once and extend them in a single step using the Extend tool. Since I'll need to tweak a few to draw the smaller strip, I'm just focusing on the main strips for now. Ah, looks like I missed one strip here. Let's add that in. And now I'll extend all of these to the edge of the foundation. I just select the strips, the endpoints, and the target surface. Then use Edit, Align Joint, Extend, Done. I'll repeat the same process for the next set of strips. Just like that. Now let's take care of these small strips near the elevator shaft. First, I need to calculate the strip width again. The x-coordinate of this point is 16.775, and the other point is at 15.5, so the total width is the difference between them. That's 1.275 meters divided by 2, gives us 0.6375 meters on each side. Just like earlier, now the problem here is that it's not easy to snap exactly to the center in this area. So what do? I'll just draw the strip starting from here. But you can see it's not centered. Let's fix that. This point has an X value of 16.225, and this point is at 15.5. Since we want half the strip width, 0.6375, to be added to 15.5, the correct center point should be at 16.1375, but right now, it's at 16.225, which is too far to the right. So I need to move the strip left by 0.0875 meters. To do that, I just select the strip, go to Edit, Move, and in the X offset box, I type minus 0.0875. Perfect. Now the strip is exactly where it should be, and that's it. All our design strips for this foundation are now done. Alright, now I'll go ahead and turn layer A back on, so we can see both sets of strips, A and B, on the screen at the same time. Now, if you notice any overlap between the design strips, that's totally fine. In fact, there should be overlap. This allows Safe to design rebar continuously along the full length of each strip,